Go.
My name is Kim Howe. I am recording my taping checkoff, and this is for respiratory 251 and spring of 2023. So first things first, I'm gonna look at my patient's chart. I'm checking their name, date of birth, MRN number. I'm looking at my physician orders, chief complaint, code status, chest x-rays, labs, and ABGs. I'm focusing on my chest x-ray to make sure that I know my patient's proper tube depth and placement. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands. Gloves on. I'm gonna go ahead and test this bamboo bag, make sure that this is inflated, and make sure that my valves are in proper working condition. I have my tape, and I have my syringe, and my goggles and my stethoscope. Okay. So now I'll go in my patient's room. Hello, Mr. Smith. My name is Kim. I'm from respiratory. I'm just going to be changing out the tape on your tube today. So I'll go ahead and wash my hands. Gloves on. I'm going to ID my patient. Make sure that his name, date of birth, and MRN number match what I have on my chart. I will go ahead and place this bamboo bag at the head of the bed in case of an emergency. Okay. And I'm going to check my patient's pulse, make sure that it's bounding and correlating with what I have on my monitor, to make sure that his blood pressure, or I'm going to check his heart rate, his blood pressure, his respiratory rate, his SpO2, and EKG. I'm also looking at my ventilator to check my graphics, make sure there's no dysynchrony, and check for ringing. Okay, so I'll go ahead and feel for any sub-Q and tactile primitives. And then I'm going to listen for one full breath cycle on each lobe. Okay. That's good. So he does need to be suctioned out. I'm going to go ahead and give him an O2 breath. Okay, and while that's going on, I'm going to check my suction pressures. So put that on. I would sit here and tap this and make sure it's between -100 and -150. And it is. Okay. And then I would check my cast tube, make sure that this is -100 intermittent and -20 continuous. And I will make sure that I have my yonker available to suction his mouth. So I'm going to draw back 5 mils on my syringe and flush out his cast tube. Okay. Then I will go ahead and suction out his mouth, making sure to get in the back of the throat, the sides of the cheeks. I would check, make sure he is hyperoxygenated. And if he needed to be hyperoxygenated again, I would go ahead and hit that O2 boost button again and wait 2 minutes. Okay, so I unlock this. It's short. Go ahead and suction him out. Once I get it down there and I meet resistance, I'm going to draw back 2-3 centimeters. I'm checking my heart rate, my respiration rate, my blood pressure, my SpO2, and my EKG. I'm going to lock this back. And I will go ahead and It's not working. There we go. So I would lower the head of the bed. All right, Mr. Smith, I'm just lowering the bed so that I can change out your tape. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and check my tube placement. So I'm notating that it's about 23.5 at the teeth. It's not quite at 24. It's about 23.5. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this over here, just pulling. Okay. So now I have my tape, and I will show you the backing. Just to make sure that I don't pull my patient's hair. This tape is not very sticky, just FYI. Okay, make sure that I put this under here. Get this side ready. Tape is way too long. Just kind of move that there. Okay, there we go. Tear this one up as well. Make sure it's ready when it's time. Okay. Now we're ready. So, making sure still 23.5 at the teeth. Hold my tube. I will slowly peel this off. Making sure not to move my tube. I have little fingers. I have to keep switching hands. All right, so I'll look at my patients too, make sure I'm still 23.5 at the teeth. Can you see it? Okay. Okay. Can you hold that tape on that side, please? Thank you. Pull it. There you go. For whatever reason, this tape is not very sticky. I think because it's old, but it is what it is. Making sure that the tape is nice and straight. And I have wrapped it 2 times. Does not want to rip now. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to crimp it on the end here. Okay. All right. Making sure to anchor this down right above the lip here. And this tape is long as well. Rip that and crimp this end here like that. Okay. Just gonna make sure that I'm still 23.5 at the teeth. Okay. This tape is not sticking to this dummy. One time. And this is the second time, so we're gonna rip it, making sure that I'm not letting go of this tube. And I'm going to crimp this right here. Okay. Making sure I'm still 23.5 at the teeth. Okay. And now go ahead and just anchor over. And we're going to rip this right here. Still holding onto my tube. Okay. And there we go. So, making sure this is nice and secure on the patient's neck. Okay. Checking my tube placement, that it's still 23.5 at the teeth. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and just check, make sure it's nice and secure, and it is. And I'm gonna write my credentials on here. So I would put my name, student, RT, and the date. Well, it's 1/9. Okay, so that's that. Now we'll go ahead and remove any trash on this patient's bed. Now I will go ahead and just auscultate my patient's breath sounds. I'm going to go ahead and put him back up. I'm not going to do it on that side. Other one. Okay. Go ahead and keep going. And that's good. So I will make sure he's at a 30-degree angle. Go ahead and auscultate. Make sure that my breath sounds are equal. Everything sounds good. I'm just going to check his vitals one more time. So I'm going to bound and correlate the pulses with my heart rate, respiration rate, SpO2, blood pressure, and EKG monitor. Checking my vent one more time, make sure there's no dysynchrony. I'm checking also for bilateral chest rise. And everything sounds good. Making sure I lower my patient's bed, all of his rails up. If he had any restraints, I'd make sure he's still restrained. Yeah, and that he's at a 30-degree angle. This bed is a little bit wonky, but I can't get it on. So you have to lift the head. So he would be at a 30-degree angle instead of Fowler's to reduce the aspiration risk. And that's it. I would wash my hands, try my procedure, and that's it.